Good races from Nicky Tim, and there is Rennie Rast.
Yeah, Dave, Rennie Rast leads the championship. 2 races this weekend, 1 today and then 1 tomorrow morning. And Rast leads the championship by 22 points at the moment, with 40 still to play for. There's Michael Christensen, one of the Porsche Junior drivers. Good qualifying for him in 4th place. Thus far this season, it's been Rast 6 wins and Edwards 5. Teammates, of course, in the 2 Limit team.
And Rast already the Super Cup to his name, Andrew.
Super Cup this year, and he's won the Carrera Cup Deutschland in the past, but he's never won the 2 in the same season.
And
a championship guy. There's Philip Eng in 5th place. The man who had single-seater career before he switched to the Porsches. The girls heading off the line. In a little black party dress, which has got white slashes across it.
Yes. Very becoming.
So, Rennie Rast, as you said, Dave, has won the Porsche Super Cup. Basically the same cars, but with different brake material. That's the main change. They run on the metal brakes here, and they run on the carbons in the championship that runs alongside Formula 1. And there's a bit of difference with the silencing, as these cars are a bit more of a different exhaust system. Well, they're the same cars, actually. Tend to be the same exact cars, but they do change those parts. But of course, the Super Cup done and dusted in the favour of Rennie Rast, and he would like to win both championships. Michael Ammermuller, who started the championship and then dropped out halfway, has returned to it. I saw one of our cameramen getting a bit of FaceTime.
So the race between Rast and Edwards, there's 12 points in it, Andrew.
Yep.
And of course, they're good mates as well. Not only are they teammates,
we saw
they're
them together.
Good friends.
Porsche Marquis last night with their girlfriends. So excellent grid of Porsche Carrera Cup cars for this 25-minute race.
We look at Sean Edwards there, based in Monaco now, Andrew.
Well, yeah, it's been there a while. I think that's where his dad lives as well. There's Kurt Team, son of, I say Kurt Team, Nicky Team, son of Kurt Team. And he's had a couple of race wins this season. Kevin Esther, of course, another man who's had a race win. And Norbert Seidler.
Yes.
Well, I see was well back on the grid. Seidler finally
P10, I think, on the grid.
We've got this amateur section as well, with the likes of Wolf Nathan and Bill Barazetti, the dentist, who I believe leads that. A couple of other guest drivers as well. And in 12th place, Lucas, who is quite a top runner from Austria in the Super Cup. So appeared in the last couple of these, but does not score points.
So off then on their formation lap here at Hockenheim, the Porsche Carrera Cup Germany. And it's produced some fine racing, some instant pack racing during the course of the season. And interestingly, and a point that you'll pick up on, I'm sure, Andrew, is the fact that Rennie Rast and Sean Edwards, whilst they're battling for the championship, both of them have been known to, what's the word, suffer by getting angry during the race.
Yeah.
I mean, both Rast and Edwards, we've seen some I'm inclined to say mistakes from them in terms of temperament, which has caused them problems. And
they're just going through. Clement Schmidt 11th, Robert Lucas I mentioned 12th, Ammermuller only 13th, Frommenweiler 14th, Florian Schultz, guest driver 15th, Thomas Pavoda, Elliot Earhart, Florian Spengler, another of the guest drivers, then going through down with the various. Most of these amateur drivers seem to be Dutch. They're all in the Land Motorsport team. And just reflect on the very first race in this championship here at Hockenheim. At the end of April, Sean Edwards was in the lead and had a puncture, a rear wheel puncture, and that cost him 20 points. but for that, he would have been leading the championship by about 9 points, in fact.
And I recall an incident in at the Nürburgring with him, Sean Edwards and Jaap van Lagen, and where they both unceremoniously, and it was down to Sean, that they went off the circuit and lost some points there. And apparently one of the other drivers said you could actually hear Sean shouting in the car. He was so frustrated at having sat behind. So
they did most of these races, or all but one of these races, were run alongside the DTM. But you went off, Dave, to the Nürburgring for the 24-hour race, where they had a support race on the full Nordschleife.
Oh yes, yes.
And
interesting that they were on with 2 other packs of cars as well, because of the size of the Nordschleife circuit. And well, within 1 and a bit laps, of course, the Porsches were on the other cars.
They were Renault Clios or something.
Clios and Minis, I think.
Yeah, Estra won that race, the young Frenchman. So, getting ready for this. Nicola Armindo, who's been one of the stars of this championship in the past, racing today, and must be right in the middle of it in the Petit Le Mans in a Porsche. And same can be said for Nick Tandy, last year's champion. He's racing in the Petit Le Mans this weekend.
So there's Nicky Tim. B2 on the grid. Herbert Voss then just coming in, one of the Land Motorsport drivers. Voss the boss.
Voss the boss.
As we've titled him. We wait for the green flag from the marshal at the back to say the grid is formed and all is okay. Then the lights will go on, and as soon as the lights go out, Andrew,
it's going to be diving into that first corner, and off they go. Flat 6 horsepower drives them away.
Good start from Tim, not quite enough. Rast around there and just tucks into 3rd place. Philip Enger going off the circuit just a little bit. Rast trying to get right on terms with Sean Edwards in the early stages of this. The first lap, of course. Big grid of these Porsches here at Hockenheim. Lady racer Christina Nielsen, we can see at the in the back of the pack there, the interesting livery that she runs on the car. So it's
look at Rast here. Knows this Hockenheim track so well.
Yep.
Trying to line up team.
Whoa!
And he gets tapped around. And Rennie Rast is going to go right to the back of the field. And with a lot of work to do, it played right into the hands of Sean Edwards.
Now, I think it was Enger that just tapped him, Andrew.
It was.
Can't be sure, but that's not what Rennie wanted. See the other yellow Porsche to limit car there of Klaus Bachler, the junior driver.
Rennie Rast with a female race engineer, Dave.
Yes, yes.
Who's done an excellent job working with Rennie.
So here it is then. Let's see who it is that tags.
He's trying to take a different line, do the switchback, and then, it was the 34 car.
And that was Enger then that just tagged him there, and that was enough to send him around. And right
had
at
to
the back
let
of
the
the
whole
pack
field
now.
go through.
He'll be unhappy about that.
See how many places he can make up. Here's another angle of it. And just tagged there by Enger.
Now, Nicky Tim is not letting Sean Edwards get away here, Andrew. And Estra in P3 at the moment. Then it's Enger, then it's Klaus Bachler in P5.
Seidler in 6th place. And Christensen 7th. And Lucas, the newcomer to the series, up in the top 10. Ammermuller is 9th.
Bachler just having a look at Enger there. Great feature earlier on in the year on Klaus Bachler, the junior driver here. With
just seeing Rast coming around that previous corner.
Yeah, with Rast and Edwards as teammates, of course.
Bit of damage to the front of the 34.
Yeah, now that will be slowing Enger down, won't it?
Would have thought so.
But Seidler right behind Backler as well, and so Edwards then, what's he got? 4/10 over Nicky Tim last time around, Andrew. So Sean Edwards knows that you know, he needs to lead and just bank the win if he can.
Yep.
With Rennie having been turned around, all of a sudden the deficit.
Yeah, he's down in 22nd place. We're shown in 22nd place at the moment.
He'll be driving like an absolute demon to cut his way through the pack, though. So there is Edwards, our race leader. There's Nicky Tim in 2nd place. 3rd is Kevin Estra. And these three, the 1, 2, 3, keeping fairly close together before there is then a gap back to Enger, and then it's Klaus Backler and Seidler and Christensen. And there we see Edwards. Now, for my money, Nicky Tim made an absolutely fantastic start, but just didn't quite have enough of an edge to get to beat Sean Edwards into that first turn.
Unusual point scoring for this championship. Positions go all the way down to 15th.
Yep.
So Rennie Rast needs to at least try and salvage some points from this, getting up into the top 15.
Well,
and there he goes.
He's up into 20th now. Having been right at the very back, he will try and cut through this pack as best he can, but certainly not the start that he wanted.
Of course, he's got to get past some of those amateur drivers as well.
So now I was concerned that the damage on Philip Enger's car may have slowed him down a bit, but it doesn't look...
It's just cosmetic, Dave, I think, as far as I can see.
Doesn't look so. Klaus Backler's challenge and charge on him has quietened down a bit now. So there's Edwards.
Yep. Sean in the 16 car from Tim and Estra. All big names in Porsche racing.
As Rast looked furiously flashing his lights at Spengler just in front of him. So Rast is cutting through the pack as we expected him to. He's got a lot of ground to make up, hasn't he? There's Jaap van Lagen going past Frommenweiler. And Rast
going
now
past a couple then.
Yep. So Rast has got past the Spengler car. And there we can see him getting past Christina Nielsen, the lady racer, in the 91 Porsche. And there, you can just see how many cars he's got past in the space of just a couple of laps. There's Herbert Voss going past him.
Guy's a class act, is Rennie Rast.
As you say, with points going back down to 15, Andrew. Who's he got?
Yeah. Just judging by the way it is at the moment, we could finish up going into the last race with them on almost equal points.
Really?
Yeah. There's Sean Edwards.
He's now building up a bit, isn't he, over Nicky Tim.
0.7 of a second.
See what it is this time around. There is Sean crosses the line now, and there's well, it's 1.3 second now, so he is building up just a little bit of a cushion over Nicky Tim and Kevin Estra and Philip Enger, and then it's Klaus Backler, then Norbert Seidler, Christensen, then Lucas, Ammermuller, Schmidt, Van Lagen, and there Rast look P15, Andrew, already.
Yeah.
So Rast then with the bit between his teeth now, knowing that he needs to make up as many of these places as he possibly can. 4 laps done of this 14-lap race here at the Hockenheim circuit, which, as you say, is a circuit that Rast knows intimately, knows it so well.
But Rast lapping in 1:45.6, still quite a lot slower than he would have been if he's at the front of the field.
Right.
Edwards is doing 44.1, and well, Rast, people are around him, quite a bit slower, so he should. I would have thought he could get himself certainly up into the top 10, maybe to about 8th. See what. There he is.
Absolutely flying.
It's just a light tap that was enough to send the Porsche around, wasn't it?
Ilya Earhart is next in the sights of his target, if you like.
Yeah, I'll be by the red and white car in a moment.
So there is Earhart then, and there is Rast right on the tail, ready to go past. There he goes, dives up.
The inside, he's got so much confidence in the car. Edwards though coming through, starting to pull away from the two Attempto Racing team cars, teammates there, sponsored by the Hermes Courier Company. Replay of the start.
And Sean Edwards there gives it the thumbs up, and I think that was a brilliant start from Tim, and Sean really had to dive, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Anger was
the
the
aim
one.
went right off.
Yes.
The bits of rubber flying around. Rast just gone fastest in the first sector of everyone, turned it purple. He is absolutely flying here. And now he's just did a lap of 44.6. And he's reeling them in.
And that
was a moment of impact and spin.
Let's see it again here, being circled for you. And there, Rennie just getting that tag, and that was enough to send him around right to the back of the pack, and he's, well, he's cut through the pack like a hot knife through butter so far, Andrew. We are third distance, thereabouts.
Yep, so still a way to go yet. New format for the Porsche Carrera Cup Deutschland this year, with 2 races rather than 1. We understand that will be maintained for next year. They were judged to have worked really well. We suspect the calendar will be very similar. DTM haven't announced their calendar as yet. Edwards, Team Estra, Eng, Backler doing a good job. Siebler,
yes.
Christensen, Lucas. Rast now 13th. From Weiler is the next target. It's only half a second behind him, and then Renauer is the next one up. Voss is leading the B category from Christina Nielsen and Barazetti, who leads that championship.
Yes. So Rast furiously
flashing his lights, look.
Yep, flashing his lights. And here is Rast dives.
He's dived down the inside. See how confident he is on the brakes. And the guy in front of him panicked a bit, didn't he?
Yes, yes, going to be...
He'll be by him in a trice. When he gets up to Ammermuller, then it's going to start getting a bit more difficult.
So Rast then, who is, well, going to get past Renauer now, surely.
Yeah, that's the third of the
Didn't
Tempto cars, isn't it?
Didn't want this this much of a challenge today.
No.
But you have to play the cards that have been dealt, and well, Rennie
halfway through,
got tagged round.
Certainly live in the race. We got to get in. Now it's just getting a bit of opposition, isn't he? Here,
he is.
Renauer. We'll have to wait until the hairpin to get him.
So he is following in completely in his wheel tracks there. Takes a dive up now. Does Rennie now?
Yeah,
under
he's got
brake
it. Yeah. So that's one more.
So he's
now what about getting in the top 10? See the dent where he got the little
Yes.
bump?
Yes.
And here's your leaders. Edwards pulling away.
So who's Rast got next? Van Lagen? Yep, Van Lagen.
Yeah.
Not going to be quite so easy, I don't think.
I wouldn't have thought so. There's Ammermuller.
Yep. And here's Rast with that move then. Past Frommenweiler, and then it got past Frommenweiler. It was just next in the sights was going to be
Ammermuller did quite a bit of GP2 racing, and is also a Red Bull tester, Formula 1 tester for a while.
Yep.
He's now dropped back into the Porsche series for try and rebuild his career after being dropped by Red Bull. What about Rast still banging in the good lap times?
Oh, and that looked like Edwards running really. Oh, and Edwards has got a puncher.
Puncher again. History repeated itself.
It is.
History has repeated itself. It's the same wheel. Oh no.
And Rasko, is that Rast or is that Backler? I think that's Backler just gone past him. Or is it Rast? I don't. Sean Edwards, how on earth? Well, we'll get a replay, Andrew. No, well, there is Rast. So it was Rast. Backler that was going past him. But this, of course, playing into the hands of René Rast now.
Sean Edwards' title going out the window. Any hope of the title?
Here they are, the two teammates together. Look.
Yeah, he tries
Sean
to
Edwards.
Off he goes. He's going to try and limp it back, but a repeat of what happened.
Indeed.
Here on the Saturday race at the very first Hockenheim. Pretty sure it's the same wheel and tyre. He's taking a short cut, missing the stadium. There's a bit of fire there as well, is there?
Well, there's a lot of smoke coming out of there, Andrew. Right. So he
Did he make a big error?
Well,
wow.
I had that deflated at that point, though, Andrew, and that's what sent him off. Yes, it has, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So to be fair to him, to keep it out of the gravel and to keep the momentum going.
Yeah.
Well, I never, and there is Hans Bernd Kamps, the team owner.
Yeah, big man in motorsport promotion in Germany. Puts a lot of the sponsorship deals together and services them.
That is unbelievable.
This is just...
And they're the two teammates together.
Yeah, with a deflated tyre, and obviously just loop the loop. Well, it's a season not to be for Sean Edwards, David.
Does appear that way, doesn't it?
Well, just a repeat of what happened at the very first race. Not the same corner. So René Rast then, he's going to...
Oh, he's got it back. He's linked it back.
Yeah.
And the To Limit team working absolutely furiously there. But what can he get now, Andrew? You know.
Well, René Rast might be able to get enough points to clinch the title right in this race day. Yeah. That's what might happen.
But Sean
will get no points at all.
No.
No. So...
What a nightmare.
Unbelievable. So Rast at the moment
is
in 10th place behind Ammermuller. And what does 10th pay?
So Andrew crunching the points then for us, and there is René Rast then. And Ammermuller now very much in the target sights of René Rast. And you get the feeling it's only going to be a matter of seconds before René Rast dives up the inside this start-finish straight and takes Ammermuller. Or will he? So Rast then, who will not be able to believe what has happened as Ammermuller really is making it very difficult for him. Of course, Ammermuller's in his own race as well.
Yeah. So, Dave, this is the situation. René Rast, if he stays where he is, will not clinch the championship today.
Now, he runs...
But if he can get up another couple of places, he will.
Ammermuller really is making it difficult for him to get past, and very nearly the two of them came together in blows then. And René knows that what he can't afford to do is make a huge mistake and end up as a huge lock-up from Ammermuller there. Plays into the hands of René Rast, who goes through now. Ammermuller nearly tags the back of him, Andrew.
Right, feisty driver is Ammermuller.
Wow. Well, this Porsche race has been remarkable.
Up to ninth is Rast.
Rast up to ninth now. And here you can see that huge lock-up in replay from Ammermuller then under the pressure of René Rast, who's been hounding him. René Rast goes through, and it's now when Ammermuller switches back. He very nearly tags the back of Rast, and I thought we were going to see Rast go round all over again, but just manages to avoid the touch. And there Hans Bernd Kamp's then watching on as this was playing out in front of our very eyes. There's Engler and Bachler. They're battling there for third place. We could see Bachler on the podium if he can get past Philipp Enger. It's Tim, it's Estra, it's Enger at the moment. Andrew, crunching the numbers.
I have crunched the numbers, and Rast needs to go up one more place if he's going to clinch the title here.
Right. And next on his, it's Jaap van Lagen.
Yeah, Van Lagen, the Dutch driver, that experience in World Series by Renault, and he's going to be a tough number to crack. Except that, who's that?
That's Christensen.
Christensen.
Now that's helped.
Christensen, that has helped. Christensen having a rear puncture as well. And I think that will seal it for Rast.
So there you can see Christensen locks up, and there it's same wheel, Andrew, as Sean Edwards. Right, so what Rast needs to do now is not bin it.
Absolutely. I mean, he's a racer, he's ready. He's going to try and move up a place. Try and get past Van Lagen. Hope I managed to crunch the numbers correct in the intensity of the commentary situation. Not like cricket where we've got a scorer, is it?
No,
you know?
It isn't.
I think I've got it right. But we will see.
So there then is René Rast then, who's currently running in 9th place with Jaap van Lagen. Next that he needs to get. Klaus Bachler there we can see in 4th place. And there you wouldn't have believed that you would see René Rast now, having moved up as far as he has. There's we're on lap 12 of 14. We're reaching the closing stages of this, well, a Porsche Carrera Cup race that has been remarkable for so much incident and drama. René Rast getting turned around early on, then Sean Edwards leading the race, getting a puncture. So Rast then flying now. Tim leads, Estra second, Philipp Enger in 3rd place. Klaus Bachler, the junior driver, is in 4th place.
And 2 laps to go. Just had another look at the numbers, Dave. I think there might still be, you might need another point to do this.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Jaap van Lagen, there he goes through. There's René Rast.
I mean, it means that Rast tomorrow will only have to finish like 14th or 15th. But he hasn't quite got enough at the moment.
Right.
But so lap times is René Rast doing right now? 44.8. It's taking a lot of time out of Van Lagen. He's going to close up on Van Lagen.
Van Lagen's up in the ante now, isn't he?
Yeah, and he's been Van Lagen's been held up with it by Robert Lucas. So Jaap van Lagen, Lucas just in front of him. There is René Rast then.
chasing for the championship. Sean Edwards is back out on track, having had that punctured tyre replaced, as Jaap van Lagen takes a look now around the long outside of Lucas. We're on to the last lap here at Hockenheim, Andrew. Is Jaap van Lagen going to go through? They are side by side. Lucas and Van Lagen. The moment Lucas has still got his nose in front of Jaap van Lagen. It's the battle for 6th place. Out front, though, here is Nicky Tim. There is Kevin Estre, 1st and 2nd.
Going to be a good result for the Attempto team.
Yes, it is.
Backler also having a very good race there in 4th place.
Norbert Seidler in 5th.
Yep.
Then it's that battle between Lucas and Van Lagen. So Nicky Tim then in the Hermes Attempto car. So we follow the race leader around the turn as he heads towards the checkered flag. The Porsche Carrera Cup race is won by Nicky Tim with Kevin Estre in 2nd place. Here comes Philip Enger then to take 3rd with Klaus Backler in 4th place. Then it's Norbert Seidler. Then it's Jaap van Lagen. Then it's René Rast.
Oh, wow.
Rast got past Lucas. So Rast from very last up to 7th place.
Rast in 7th place. That will give him 8 points, and that will put him on 241, and he cannot be beaten by Edwards, because if Edwards wins tomorrow, he will get also 241, and they'll go to number of wins, and Rast has got more wins. Edwards can't catch him on wins.
Right.
So my sums are right.
There's Sean Edwards then.
Well, it's interesting, Dave, actually. René Rast has had 6 wins. Sean has had 5, but 1 have only counted for half scores. So if Edwards, I don't know what the rules say regarding that.
Right.
So,
well, there's a lot of celebration
if
down.
It's not 1, it's all but 1.
So there's Slotman, there's Hans Bergkamp. They're all on the pit perch there.
Yeah. Well, let's see what René Rast does when he comes out of the car.
That will tell us, won't it? But the race has been won by this guy, Nicky Tim, son of Kurt.
Son of Kurt, famous DTM racer in the past, one of the many successful Danish drivers. Somebody's been doing a burnout, is Nicky.
Nicky, yeah. Wow, what a race that was, Andrew. What a race.
The men and girls with the flags there. There is team coming in. But unbelievable, Sean. Same problem at the first and the race. The Saturday race at the first Hockenheim and the Saturday race at the second, same wheel.
I know. Absolutely amazing.
Does he drive it just a bit harder over the curbs or something?
Well, it certainly...
That was a good donut, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good donut. Seeing him go off when he did, I think that, you know, the tyre had deflated then, hadn't it? And there we see the Rast being turned around. Now, car number 16, Andrew, I'm just looking on that on the timing screen, black flag.
Yes.
Now, I don't think that will have any bearing, will it? Because it's not point scoring anyway.
No.
Das ist ja der Mann, der die Verantwortung hinter hat. Und der kann ja einen Daumen rauf oder runter machen auf der Podium. Das ist mein Ergebnis für Teile einer Karriere. Ja, absolut. Das wäre auf jeden Fall ein anderes Ende gegangen, wenn er jetzt niemand dafür bestraft wäre. Das war in dem Moment was nicht klar sichtlich. Das kann ich aus Fahrersicht auf jeden Fall bestätigen. Legitim. Die gewaltigen Fäuste des jungen Mannes, der ungefähr genauso offen lacht, wie sein Vater es früher getan hat.
Plenty of celebrations then.
Yep. There's Kevin Estra. There's Akinaka from the Attempto team.
Yeah.
And here, confirmation of the result then. Nicky Tim takes the win from Kevin Estra. Philip Enger in third. Klaus Bachler fourth. Norbert Seidler fifth. Jaap van Lagen sixth. René Rast seventh. Robert Lucas then eighth place. Michael Ammermuller taking ninth with Robert Renauer in 10th place. Then we see Frommenweiler, Erhardt, Florian Schultz, Florian Spengler then in 14th with Pavoda, Schmidt, Voss the Boss, Barazetti.
So, yeah, Voss winning the B category from Barazetti and Colin. And Christina Nielsen dropping to the back. And Michael Christensen, what happened to him?
So, tyre problem, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was the other one that had the tyre problem, yeah.
So, Bill there.
Driller Bill.
Yes,
There's a dentist.
fair point. Yeah, well made.
They know how to celebrate those Dutchmen.
So then some highlights then of an incident packed. As we see
That bit of damage on the front there.
The 3-2-1, there's Philip Enger. There then Kevin Estra.
So it'll be very interesting to see what happens in this championship. Obviously, René Rast really just has to come home in the top 15 to clinch it. But if he had a problem like Edwards and wasn't in the points tomorrow, then I think it might be going to count back. And it might be not even count back of wins, but count back of second places.
Really?
Yeah. But we might see the points for the Carrera Cup in a moment. It's a very good donut, that. There he is.
Here's the Drivers' Championship, Andrew.
Yeah, 242 to Rast, 221 to Edwards. 242 to Rast, 221 to Edwards. So if Edwards wins tomorrow, he gets 20. That's 241. So Rast has won it. Cannot beat him. You're looking poised.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. There's the B Championship. Bill Barazetti then, who certainly can't be touched. Wolf Nathan, Harry Colin, Voss the Boss. The 1, 2, 3, 4 then.
And what I hadn't, so something I hadn't taken into account, because I thought it was going down to, but I think it looks as if Rast has won it.
That was Rast being turned around. And there, though, is the preparations for the podium. Nicky Tim heads up, so does Kevin Estra, so does Philip Enger.
So, wait for the Danish national anthem. So, waiting friends and team members, and that's Matthias Müller, who I believe is the director of Porsche. The main supporters of all their racing success. And this is, I believe that's Wolfgang Hatz from another Porsche director.
So next to receive the trophy then going to be Philipp Enger.
There is Enger then. Enger with the Austrian colours on his race suit. Well, they've had some T-shirts printed up already.
Yes.
I think it's the team rather than the driver. I think they're hedging their bets a bit. And we'll get the B drivers up on the podium, clinking of bottles.
It's a bit mooted, Andrew, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think they're Danish.
Kevin Estra's crash helmet held and protected.
Take your trophy. Well, they've obviously been working hard there.
B podium to come.
Yeah. They will jump up and down, because they always do.
Yeah.
So just waiting for this to happen. See, sun's low in the sky here now at Hockenheim. A busy day of racing. We've had 2 Formula 3 races. We've also, of course, had the DTM qualifying, which was electrifying, and also the Volkswagen Sirocco Cup. Just waiting for this to be orchestrated. But yeah, another good result for Land Motorsport. They've obviously just put those T-shirts on.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have. You're quite right.
Some discussion going on.
Yeah. With Bespectacled Bill.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure exactly what they're waiting for.
Well, the man was working on the flags, I think.
Oh, was he? I was that flag man again.
Yes.
I don't think he's my Portuguese guy.
I would have loved to have been there. I really would. As you upset him.
Well, I told him he'd put the wrong flag up, because he had.
Right.
Didn't know the nationality of a bloke. And,
so you were trying to be helpful.
I was trying to be helpful, and he flew into a rage. He didn't shout at me, because I would obviously have the microphone. He shouted at Rachel Bailey from the Masters series, and who were running most of the races. It was quite comical in retrospect.
As are so many of your fundamental motor racing stories.
Found out afterwards he was relieved of the position.
Oh, really?
Yes. 20 years of choosing the flag, it was all over in a flash.
Okay, here we go.
They get it right here, though.
B podium.
Yep. Accelerate experience. Didn't know you could do that.
So Voss the boss then.
Seemed to slow down at the end of that national anthem.
Oh, a bit.
We're going to get another bit of it, are we? He's still singing it.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. They're characters, these Dutch guys,
Yes, they
aren't they? Yeah.
So Herbert Voss then.
Suppose we should be looking at the points for the B.
I think it's Barazetti's, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then Harry Colan then will get the third place trophy.
Yeah, I don't think Barazetti's quite maybe he has clinched the championship. Maybe not. I think Wolf Nathan is still in it, actually. It's only 4 or 5 of them in it. On occasion, we've had 3 Dutchmen all up there, haven't we?
Yeah. Well, with that podium done and dusted, Andrew, it bodes well for the Porsche racing tomorrow.
Yeah.
More excitement, more drama.
Yeah. Well, we think that Rennie Rast has just clinched the title. We didn't see any celebrations down there.
No.
I think he's done it. He's got a point in hand. He can't be beaten because he's got 21 points over Sean Edwards. Can only score 20 tomorrow, even if Rennie doesn't finish. But we didn't see any celebrations to that effect. So we'll certainly bring you that news tomorrow morning.
Yes, we will.
Right at the top of the show.
Yes, we
As
will.
the amateur drivers leave the stage. Do you a nice root canal filling on Monday morning, Dave?
So there we have it then, Porsche Carrera Cup, race 1 of 2 done and dusted, and more to come tomorrow.
Yeah, from Andrew Marriott and Dave Richardson. We're going to say goodbye from here in Hockenheim for the night, and I hope you'll tune in on the Porsche website to hear us again tomorrow. But for now, it's au revoir, goodbye, so long.